The rain was falling softly over the city that night, the kind of rain that blurred the streetlights and made everything look like a memory. Ethan Carter, a 32-year-old single father, tightened his worn-out jacket around himself as he hurried home from the late shift at the auto shop. His little daughter, Lily, was already asleep by the time he reached their tiny apartment. Her hair was spread over the pillow like a halo, and for a moment all the exhaustion and bitterness in Ethan's life faded. She was the reason he kept going. Ethan had been widowed for 3 years. Since his wife's passing, he had struggled to keep his life together, juggling work, bills, and fatherhood. Love was the last thing on his mind. What he didn't know was that his life was about to change in a way he never expected. Across the city, in a gleaming glass tower, sat Claire Donovan, the youngest CEO of a powerful luxury fashion empire. Claire was known for her brilliance and icy demeanor, a woman who never let emotions interfere with business. But behind her polished smile and tailored suits, she was trapped in a complicated situation. Her grandfather's will demanded that she marry before the company's 10th anniversary gala, or she would lose her position as CEO to her conniving cousin. Claire didn't believe in love after being betrayed years ago, but she needed a husband, fast. Their worlds collided one chilly afternoon at a local cafe. Ethan had stopped by to pick up a cheap cup of coffee on his way to work, his hands still rough with grease and oil from fixing engines. Claire was there too, escaping the suffocating meetings of her boardroom. She noticed the way he gently held Lily's small hand as she asked for a chocolate muffin, his voice soft and patient despite his tired eyes. There was something genuine about him, something she hadn't seen in the polished, pretentious men who courted her for her wealth. When Lily accidentally dropped her muffin and began to cry, Ethan knelt beside her, wiping her tears with the corner of his sleeve and whispering, "Hey, it's okay, sweetheart. Daddy will get you another one." Claire felt an unexpected tug at her heart. That simple moment stayed with her long after she left the cafe. A week later, fate brought them together again, this time in the lobby of Claire's company headquarters. Ethan had come to fix a delivery van's engine for one of her staff. As he stood by the service desk, slightly embarrassed by the grease stains on his shirt in the middle of such a luxurious building, Claire stepped out of the elevator. She was stunned to see the man from the cafe. For a moment, neither of them said anything. Then, with a faint, amused smile, she broke the silence. "We meet again." Ethan gave a polite nod, a little awkward. "Looks like it. Small world." Claire hesitated, studying him as an idea formed in her mind. It sounded insane even to her, but she was running out of time. That night, she asked her assistant to track down Ethan's contact information. The following day, she showed up at the auto shop where he worked, standing out like a diamond among rusted cars and oil-stained floors. Ethan stared at her, startled and wary. "Miss Donovan, what are you doing here?" Claire took a deep breath, her usual confidence faltering for the first time. "I need your help. I need you to pretend to be my husband." The wrench in Ethan's hand clattered to the floor. "I'm sorry, what?" She explained everything. The condition in her grandfather's will, the upcoming gala, the need for a convincing partner who didn't come with ulterior motives. Ethan listened in silence, stunned by the absurdity of her request. He was a struggling single dad, not a man who belonged in high society galas, but when Claire offered to pay him a sum that could change his daughter's future, enough for better schooling and to finally clear his debts, he hesitated. "I don't belong in your world," he said quietly. "I fix cars. I don't know how to play the part of a CEO's husband." Claire's gaze softened. "I don't need you to play a part. I just need you to be real. That's something most people around me aren't." The sincerity in her eyes, so unlike the cold executive mask she usually wore, caught Ethan off guard. After a long pause, he agreed. Not for himself, but for Lily. The transformation began. Claire arranged for Ethan to receive etiquette lessons, a proper wardrobe, and even some guidance on how to handle the relentless curiosity of the media. Through it all, Ethan remained grounded, often joking with her in a way that made her laugh, something she hadn't done in years. At first, their relationship was nothing more than a business arrangement. They kept things professional during public appearances, posing as the perfect couple for cameras. But behind closed doors, the lines between act and reality began to blur. Ethan was nothing like the men Claire had dated before. He was steady, kind, and surprisingly witty. He never treated her like a trophy or a means to climb higher. He treated her like a person. Late at night, after the gala rehearsals and endless fittings, they would share quiet conversations over coffee in the kitchen of her penthouse. She learned about his struggles as a single father, the nights he'd gone without sleep caring for Lily, his fear of not being good enough. In turn, he learned about her own loneliness, the pressure of leading an empire at such a young age, and the scars left by a love that had betrayed her. Lily, too, grew fond of Claire. The little girl often asked if Miss Claire could join them for bedtime stories. One evening, as Ethan tucked her in, Lily whispered, "Daddy, I think Miss Claire is lonely. We should be her family." The simple words hit Ethan harder than he expected. The night of the grand anniversary gala finally arrived. Ethan, dressed in a tailored black suit, looked every bit the part of a devoted husband. Claire stood beside him in a breathtaking silver gown that shimmered under the lights. As they entered the ballroom together, all eyes turned toward them. Whispers filled the air, some admiring, some skeptical, but no one could deny the chemistry between them. During a quiet moment on the balcony, away from the flashing cameras, Ethan turned to her. "You look incredible tonight," he said softly. Claire smiled, her eyes glistening. "So do you. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad I asked you to be part of this madness." They laughed, and for a heartbeat the world seemed to fade away. Then as the clock struck midnight and the gala reached its peak, Claire's scheming cousin tried to expose their arrangement, accusing Ethan of being a fraud. The room went silent, all eyes on the couple. Ethan stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "I may not come from your world, but my feelings for Claire are real. I didn't come here to steal anything. I came because she needed someone to stand by her, and because somewhere along the way I realized I wanted to." The sincerity in his words silenced the whispers. Claire's grandfather's trusted lawyer, who had attended the gala in secret, stepped forward to confirm that the will only required Claire to be married by the gala's date. There was no clause against falling in love. The revelation left the cousin humiliated. That night, after the gala ended and the lights of the city sparkled below them, Ethan and Claire stood by the window in her penthouse. The charade was no longer necessary. The deal was over, but neither of them wanted to walk away. Claire turned to him, her voice barely above a whisper. "We don't have to pretend anymore, but I don't want to say goodbye either." Ethan reached for her hand, his rough fingers entwining with hers. "Neither do I." Lily's sleepy voice drifted from the hallway. "Are we a real family now?" Claire knelt to hug her. "If you want us to be, sweetheart." The three of them shared a quiet, tender embrace, no longer bound by contracts or appearances, just by the fragile, beautiful thing they had built together. In the months that followed, Ethan continued working at the auto shop, though he spent more time at Claire's side as she navigated the challenges of running her company. Claire discovered a softer side to life. Weekend trips to the park with Lily, cozy dinners at Ethan's modest apartment, laughter that came without effort. And Ethan found strength in her unwavering support, realizing that love could heal wounds he thought would never mend. Their story became an unexpected legend in the city, a tale of a powerful CEO who fell in love with a struggling single dad, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary love stories begin in the most ordinary places.